So, what can we do to protect ourselves from Ketarpal and Kachha Kalua Masan so they don't overwhelm us?
Look, to save yourself, there is the name of God. What else can you do? Someone has drawn a conclusion. He actually said that it is the reign of Kali. In this current era, it is Kali Yuga's rule. During Kali Yuga, the power of such entities has multiplied many times over. Many demonic powers have conquered and attacked the earth. In 2022 to 23, all the specters within it have acknowledged that certain demonic powers have launched an assault on the earth. As a result, there have been 2 distress calls, and sorrow has permeated every household. The entire world experienced a dramatic transformation, beginning after the years 2019 to 2020. I mean, the whole world suddenly became miserable. Everyone wants to get rid of their sorrow. How many calls have I received? How many phone calls? Up until 2018 to 19, people were experiencing great joy and were quite content. Then the change began. It's as if people are perpetually falling deeper and deeper. These things, these demonic powers, which attacked during Satyug, Treta, and Dwapar, are now launching the very same assault upon humanity. Doctor, as the saying goes, diamond cuts diamond. For example, you mentioned identifying Kachha Kalua Masan. What if Ketarpal attacks a pregnant lady? Can their influence be countered in a similar manner? Let's see. It's extremely difficult to stop it. The Kachha Kalua Masan, you see. It's like an unruly child, a mischievous child. He doesn't heed his parents, nor does he listen to his teachers. He's completely uncontrollable. This is its nature. It is truly very difficult to control. Only a truly virtuous being, a saint, a devotee, or a very highly evolved spiritual person can manage to bring them under control. So, that's exactly how it is. It's truly just like a child's habit. It is like a child's spirit. It is not easily controlled. Therefore, the teachings or words of any spiritual master, quickly applied or spoken, don't really work on it because it is essentially a child. Okay? No words can truly influence it because every religion has given love to a child and he is a beloved one. Yes. You're saying every religion loves children, they're beloved. So, by that logic, can a Kachha Kalua Masan also go to a house of worship? Absolutely, it can. It can go to any religious place. A child is not forbidden anywhere. Every religion. But that Kalua is a demonic soul, isn't it? No? Even if it's a demonic soul, it's still the soul of a child. It hasn't done anything wrong. It hasn't done anything wrong to anyone. Okay? Every religion has given a child the status of purity. Everyone says, children are innocent. These are indeed merciless individuals whose conscience and soul have perished, and such people engage in these acts. They are the ones who essentially forget about death. Otherwise, simply seeing a child brings joy to everyone. Witnessing their innocence gladdens the heart. So let's discuss this further. Who are these individuals? These must be truly heartless people who carry out such actions. You mentioned that the Kachha Kalua Masan is effective for only a year or 2. Afterward, its soul is set free. So, when the soul of a Kachha Kalua Masan is released, can it enter any child's body by its own will? No, a child is innocent. A child doesn't willingly enter anywhere on its own accord. It happens by a command, doesn't it? He just left it free. It keeps wandering around. Sometimes it goes to a gurudwara, sometimes to temples, or sometimes it roams along the riverbanks. But that particular child doesn't trouble anyone unless it is specifically caught and brought somewhere.
He doesn't say anything to anyone because he has innocence and purity within him. He doesn't say anything to anyone. Yes, is there any particular day or festival for controlling Kachha Kalua Masan? Or can we control Kachha Kalua Masan at any time?
No, there isn't a specific day or celebration for this. For these individuals, whenever they engage in such actions, the ones who commit wrongful acts, all they seek is a female body. Alternatively, we could say that those who plan to perform this work already consider precisely where the child's body will be interred. They focus on that. So, ideally, one would wish that, God forbid, this never happens to anyone. Let's say in the rituals that are performed, they say it shouldn't be done. I also say, that the established rituals, as I understand them, along with the prevalent customs of the world and society, dictate that it shouldn't be done. It's sacred for a child, isn't it? When a mother sees the form of another's child, her perspective shifts. My own thinking must also evolve with time. It's gotten to the point where some dismiss it, saying, it's just a child. I once saw a news report, specifically from Ludhiana, where at the cremation ground, after people performed the last rites for someone or a woman's body, and specifically, before they could gather the flowers from the remains, a large cage had already been prepared there. They would set the cage and lock it. This meant that until humanity has degraded to such a degree. This is the extent of the decline. Otherwise, there were values and principles. They've lost all shame. Their conscience is dead. It's not just about the living anymore. They don't even spare the deceased. So, we should also make an effort. Just as we have built a cremation ground for adults, we should create a separate place for children. It is needed. Time demands it. Either perform the rites right there, or create a separate place for them. But do not leave them in the hands of these animals. People say, dead and done with. If we consider what I've studied and what I've learned from my spiritual master, the knowledge they have imparted to us shows that it is not simply dead and done with. It doesn't truly end. No, it isn't like that, is it? If someone were alive, how much love would we give them? We would love them. A memorial plaque is placed for them. And if there was an order from God, or some wrong, negative energy or power was at play, due to which he is no longer in this world, then we should not think that by burying him our responsibility is over, or by immersing him in the river our responsibility is over, right? And that responsibility, it should be fulfilled properly as it is supposed to be done. Perform the work correctly because people are not afraid. So basically, it is observed, doctor, that in many homes, many parents are distressed, especially those who haven't had children for a very long time. Often, there are many cases where within a household, girls are continuously born, yet they yearn for a boy. Kachha Kalua Masan is not effective in these situations. Look, there's another negative identity at play here. Some spell was cast so that only girls would be born in this house. They will never have boys. Many people resort to using Ketarpal when new children arrive. Right, sir? You basically spoke about Ketarpal's identity, so I'd like to learn more. What defines Ketarpal's identity? Ketarpal comes from the lineage of a Siddha Jogi, an accomplished ascetic. Many consider him a form of Lord Shiva, just as I mentioned. That even Lord Hanuman is misused by some. Every coin has two sides, every coin has two sides. In several places, Ketarpal is even venerated, and people have faith in him. Both entities are essentially one. What I emphasize is the other aspect. In ancient times, those they considered as gods. They used to call the guardian deity of their town, their village, their area Ketarpal. That's one type, right? That's different. The one they worship is distinct. Okay, it's crucial to make this clear. The Ketarpal whom they revere and worship is distinct from this one. This Ketarpal is different, okay? The one many worship is different from this one. Offerings are brought to Ketarpal's altar. Yes, look, offerings of prasad are also brought to Ketarpal's altar. Yes, so basically, when they use Kachha Kalua Masan or Ketarpal, can these things? Can they also overpower them? Look, if it gets countered, yes, it was countered. Yes, if some work gets blocked, yes, if it gets countered, then it backfires on the one who initiated it, right? The one who cast it cannot get away easily. Yes, you mentioned Ketarpal. Ketarpal is a significant mature entity. However, Kachha Kalua Masan is a mere child. Therefore, can we counteract the Kachha Kalua Masan by employing various tantric spells, charms, or mystical arts? When this entity,
The Kachha Kalua is unleashed. Spells and charms often have little effect. Chants and spells seldom work on it. Okay, because it's a child, right? No spiritual master desires to suppress or pressure a child. In that case, does it imply that whoever uses Kachha Kalua Masan can never attain liberation? No. What liberation would they have?
If it encounters a perfect realized saint, or if a spiritually accomplished soul arrives, it can even be persuaded, right? They can persuade the child. It's not that there's no solution, but the solution. But the solution to this problem.
What if it's affected by a spell?
No, no, no. No chant, spell, or rite works on it. Everything has been tried. If someone has the knowledge of chants and spells, they would have to be very advanced to be able to control it. But even they would have to approach it with love. Yes, you talked about Kachha Kalua Masan and Ketarpal. You mentioned that a pregnant lady's child can be killed using a doll.
Via a doll?
That other practice you started mentioning? That's it. It's voodoo. Voodoo? Yes, it involves the creation of a doll representing an individual, and subsequently performing black magic rituals upon it. Indeed, we have previously touched upon this subject, that through such a ritual, the life of a child can be terminated. This specific ritual can also be employed for that very purpose. It basically means that targeting and killing someone that falls under the doll ritual. However, the primary purpose of Kachha Kalua is essentially to halt the continuation of a family's lineage. Is this Kachha Kalua to stop someone's lineage to prevent children from being born in a family, right? The one that takes the child, that child then goes on to become. There is no guarantee of continuing one's lineage. The child meets an untimely death. Is there any form of ritual, mantra, or a protective measure that a woman can employ right from the moment of conception to safeguard her child? Indeed, that is the moment to invoke the name of the Almighty, whomever you worship. Whatever deity you believe in, whether Allah, Ishwar, Waheguru, or Ram, you must earnestly pray to them, saying, "That which you have bestowed upon me, you must bring into this world, and during this conception, you yourself must place your hand upon my head." Because the name of God is an incredibly powerful thing, and we should never underestimate it. The only problem is our lack of faith and conviction. Does any chant or aggressive spell work on the one creating this Kachha Kalua Masan? It can only be freed quickly. Its liberation can be achieved, but only if, for example, a perfect spiritual guide or master is found. Its liberation can be arranged, but this liberation can only be done with its consent. You cannot free it by force. And to all those individuals who utilize Kachha Kalua Masan or Ketarpal to cause detriment to someone's home or to stop their lineage, what message would you like to impart to them? Look, absolutely do not engage in these actions. Do not allow these things to bring tears to anyone's eyes. Because of you, no one's heart, no one's soul should cry. No mother's eyes should well up with tears. No curse should ever come from a mother's heart or a soul, because every mother wishes for her children to flourish in her womb. We contemplate that, don't we? What I'm sharing with you now is for awareness, because there is indeed darkness, isn't there? People get scared simply by hearing their names. I am openly telling you from this platform, making you entirely aware of how these entities actually exist. So please don't be afraid. Take the name of the divine, because I believe the Kali Yuga is coming with full force. It's the reign of Kali. So please, do not be scared. Trust in your God and your spiritual master. The one who performs such acts might enjoy fleeting pleasure for a few days, but if things take a turn for the worse, and these entities return, the repercussions will be dire. They go back to the one who sent them. Then they won't even let that person ask for water. Yes, so I think, doctor, you have explained Kachha Kalua Masan and Ketarpal in a very good way.